guys, and welcome to Close Dislike. These are basically videos of things I dislike, so you might agree with them, might not. With that being said, let's see what today's topic is. Curl Dislikes working for UPS. Oh yeah, I did. 7 years of my life just wasted in that freaking company. It really freaking sucked. Anyways, one thing that really did suck, I'm going to probably just talk more about supervisors and managers in this one, more than being an employer or the different types of shifts. I'm going to probably leave that for another video. But being a manager at UPS kind of was a bummer because, well, a supervisor and a manager was a bummer because union would never back you up. Union will always be against you. Even if people disrespect you, they will always be against you. And it got to the point where one time I remember there was this one guy, and the supervisor was talking, and he goes, hey man, I need that. Like he wouldn't let him, you know, finish his sentence, and he needed to turn off the bell because it was working the floor. And he was just bad, and like all of a sudden he's like, hey, what are you? Shut the beep up. And I was like, oh. So he grabbed the union representative, took him to the employee, and the union representative basically defended him. He goes, you can't do that, but you know what? He has the right. He had the right. It's an Article 18 issue. Next time you tell him it's Article 18 issue, instead of telling him to shut the beep up. I was like, what? And then he went back to his normal area working, and basically the supervisor was like, well, that failed. I'm like, yeah, it did fail badly. I mean, this employee should have been, you know, kind of told, you can't do this. You do this again, we're gonna have to write you. You know, you're gonna get a write-up, and on top of that, you might get suspended. You might go to a hearing because this is the second time this happened. So, you know, this is your warning. But no, it didn't happen. It will just be like the union will defend them. Oh, you're incorrect because they blah, blah, blah. They'll find something to just say the supervisor's wrong or the full-time manager's wrong. They will find something. And that's what really did suck about being a UPS supervisor manager versus the union, because the union will always fight for the employees. And it would be like sometimes you're fighting for the wrong cause. Luckily, I never became a supervisor. I mean, a lot of people wanted to see me a supervisor, and I never did it because UPS, I couldn't deal with the stress, with the BS. Let me do it. BS. And it was just like, oh my goodness. It was just terrible. I mean, there were many times where the full-time managers were like, they will absorb every single juice from a good employee, and they will treat them like crap in the long run. And then with bad employees, they won't even suck the juices out of them. They'll be like, oh, you can do whatever you want. But they'll keep sucking the juices out, even until like, you know, you're dead and drained. And they'll keep pushing you. They'll be like putting a little stick on the back of you, like keep going. Bad employee, good job. Keep going. And it was just like terrible. It's like, come on, man, you're making me do more work than that piece of crap over there. And it was just like, don't worry about them. You need to worry about yourself. Like, are you serial? This was always, and even if you report it to the union, you'd be like, well, we can't do nothing about crappy employees. You can't file grievances on crappy employees, on employees. You can only file them on supervisors or full-time managers. And it really freaking sucked because it was like always a constant, like, there's too many bad employees. And like, people do what they want. They could literally be talking and like over the you know, by the stairs for 15 minutes, and then come back to the area and say, oh, I was working for those 15 minutes. You better pay me for those 15 minutes. And obviously they're gonna pay them for those 15 minutes because then they'll take it to the union. And then, you know, you try to fight it off like, what, that employee? No, the union will defend. And then it's like, wow, like what the hell? Like, working for them was terrible. I mean, you had to also have clean cut, you know, clean cut shaving, and your hair had to look professional. And there were a lot of people that actually had long hair, and for religious purposes they couldn't cut it. I don't know what religion says you have to have long hair, but that's how it always was. Like, all these people, even if they didn't follow that religion, they'd be like, oh no, I can keep my facial hair for religion reasons. And I'm like, also the facial hair? Like, there will be people who do things just because they were like, I don't care what they say. Let them fire me. They can't fire me because then I'll be like, brum, 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 brum. And I'm like, so there were many employees who couldn't have clean cut shaves. They didn't clean cut, I mean, they didn't have professional looks. They looked like they were just regular employees. And it was just like, they would do absolutely nothing towards them. And it was just like, wow. And, oh my goodness, like the professional look out the window. The freaking the freaking long hair. There were so many employees, you know, UPS employees with them, even full-time managers in the night shifts that had long hair, and it was like, yeah, it doesn't matter, you can have it. Like, oh my goodness, like, see, people, I'm like already about this subject, and I don't even want to talk about it no more. But there were so many problems at UPS. I mean, the union will always bash on them. They couldn't see a supervisor work at all. They couldn't see a supervisor touch one package. So let's just say there was an employee who needed assistance with one package because they needed to like throw it up, put it up on the belt, and it was just like they asked the supervisor, and the supervisor will help them and put it up. There were many times they did that, but the real rule was, and this one really did suck, because it was like when they came and they will write that person up, because it was just like, you know, you're supposed to tell another employee, but then that kind of sucked, because it was like you have to literally tell this other load to stop, tell that sorter, come over here, put this package with that person, and now go back to sort. I mean, go back to sorting and start that truck up. I mean, you're taking minutes and seconds from that. From that truck, you know, keep taking out the work, and you couldn't even touch it. You couldn't even do that. I mean, asking for assistance is something, you know, part-time employees should be doing. But it was just like, it didn't matter. And it was like, there were many times where it came to the point where there were supervisors that actually worked. Like, I'll tell you right now, there were supervisors that worked, there were full-time managers that worked, and they would throw packages with the employees. They would literally throw packages. You say something to them, they wouldn't even care. They were like, nah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And they'll keep doing it. And it was just like, wow. Like, I mean, holy crap. Wow. Like, they were, you know, as a sorter, you're supposed to tap them, a person behind their shoulder, so they can know that you're behind them. And there were many times I smacked so many people with boxes. Even a full-time manager, I smacked him in the face, and I told him, you should tap me. And he was like, ugh. I'm always complaining about the subject, and you guys don't do it. And it was just like a constant, like, repeated over and over and over and over and over. So that was like, work ethics were just terrible. Like, you know, you could throw packages whenever, heavy packages, instead of asking for assistance, you just missort it to the wrong belt. You just throw it to the bottom belts instead of the top belts. There's another subject I was going to talk about. If you were a full-time supervisor and full-time manager and a supervisor, the supervisor can't go to the union. So if they get disrespected by a full-time manager, you have to go to HR, and they won't tell you that. So I remember one time there was this one supervisor who was like, bah, 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 you beeping idiot, you're gonna do this job right, you bah, 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 get the hell out of it, get the beep out of this building because you suck. And he just sat there and took it. He went to HR and brought them down, and they were like, you can't treat this employee like this. That's the only way a supervisor is gonna defend himself or herself against a full-time manager. And it really did suck, because it was just like, if you went to the union would be like, well, that's not our problem, you're not our problem. I mean, it should be kind of their problem, because it'd be like, well, yeah, you shouldn't be disrespecting anybody in the building, shouldn't be allowed. So union should be defending that, period. Doesn't even matter if you're full-time, a supervisor, a full-time manager, or you're an employee. But nope, they will only defend the employees. Only the employees, not the other two. And you have to go to HR, and HR will defend people, but it was just like, because it depends who the HR representative is. Or, you know, you could go to their manager, you know, the full-time manager's manager, whoever's above them, and they could resolve it, but sometimes they, it was just a pain in the butt working for them, and it was just terrible. So, with that being said, I really do dislike working for UPS. It was one terrible place. I mean, if you were a part-time, you know, it's good money for part-time employee. If you want to be there and you want to suck, go right ahead. With that, you can subscribe, you know, comment, blah, blah, blah. Look, I can't even think of it straight. So, I'll see you guys next time.